Hello, I am Howard. This is where I live. It's also where I grew up in. If you've ever driven down Bosa Avenue in Westminster, California, you'll notice a multitude of businesses and restaurant signs in Vietnamese. Places like Asian Garden Mall and TK Market are hard to miss. You might notice some old women selling flowers and fruit outside of their stores on the sidewalk. During the summer, you might even swing by and take a look at the rustling night market full of Vietnamese street food, lion dancing, and souvenirs. More importantly, you'll probably notice a peculiar flag that is quite literally flown in every direction you look. It's yellow and has 3 red stripes horizontally across the middle. It's not only flown out in the streets and in several shopping centers, but also during parades, in which you will definitely notice it.
Flags of the Republic of Southern Vietnam.
That's right. This is the flag of South Vietnam, which is no longer officially recognized. Though visually perceived, some non-Vietnamese individuals that reside elsewhere might not give much thought to the origins of the flag. However, its presence and prominence symbolizes the entire identity of Little Saigon.
Dừng chân trên bến khi chiều nắng chưa phai, từ xa thấp thoáng muôn tà áo tung bay, nếp sống vui tươi nối chân nhau đến nơi đây. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi.
Saigon, considered the Paris of the Orient or Pearl of Asia during the 50s to 60s, was a bustling city in the southernmost region of Vietnam. It was full of businesses, cultural festivities, and national pride. It was also home to my father. However, things changed when political turmoil arose between North and South Vietnam. As a result of the gruesome and devastating war, Saigon was overtaken by the communist regime on April 30th, 1975. This forced a multitude of South Vietnamese citizens to flee, many on a boat, separated from their families and their South Vietnamese identity. Among the boat people was my father.
The reason hopping a boat, I just want to get out of my country. Okay, and it's not me. All kind of people, young, old, man, woman, they just want to get out. The reason if you ask me why, I said, yeah, because communists. We can't live with communists. We just want to get out. We don't know where we go. We just get out. We got no idea which country we go. We just get out.
I have risked my life for freedom. You know what I want.
Final, I end up, in Minnesota. That's where I got spawned in Minnesota. Okay? I live in Minnesota, and from Minnesota out there right now. I'm from the Vietnam, right? When it came to America, it told everything is different. Everything. You mean everything? Culture, food, languages, everything different. It's kind of difficult, But hey, man, I'd rather, something like that than the country I just left. That's how horrible. That's why. Yeah.
A pair of gloves, that's difficult, isn't it? A pair of gloves.
The problem with foreign Minnesota now, I got similar, I got some American friends, but in California, especially on Little Saigon, I got a lot of Vietnamese, we consider some kind, same language. A lot of friends, they keep calling me, they said, hey, just move over here right now, and over here, we got some kind of the South Vietnamese, it's a lot, maybe we can stick together, something like that. That's the reason I moved to here, that Westminster, okay, that we move here right now, yeah. And I think I'm grateful, too much, the joy when I move over here right now. Yeah.
Looking back at it now, all those Vietnamese businesses laid out closely together, the noisy and rowdy night market in the summer, and the flowers and fruit sold out in the streets by that old lady when she could have just sold them from inside of her store. They weren't just done randomly. It was for a purpose. Moreover, the architecture, festive culture, and daily business transactions in the streets are all means to preserve the spirit of Saigon. Ultimately, they are all means to preserve the spirit of the South Vietnamese, a group of refugees who had their beloved home taken away from them, but even in the midst of exile, were able to maintain their pride and identity. And that flag is not just hung up for decoration. Rather, it is a symbol of hope, identity, and perseverance. Instead of looking up at that flag and feeling defeated, many refugees will look upon it with triumph and pride. It's placed in every direction to remind us all that we haven't lost anything. In essence, Little Saigon isn't just a cultural hub as many of you may assume. I argue that it is a home and place for Vietnamese refugees to seek closure from what they experienced on April 30th, 1975. And well, for us first-generation Vietnamese kids, it is a place where we are able to live the past lives of our parents and grandparents. It is a place where we learn who we are and why we are. For me, Little Saigon is where I learned that I am South Vietnamese. It is difficult to predict what Little Saigon will end up like after this generation of Vietnamese refugees are gone. Will the first generation be able to uphold the spirit of Saigon here in Westminster? Well, you'll notice younger Vietnamese people working at booths as vendors at the night markets. There's even a store called Little Saigon that sells modern and trendy streetwear that promotes the city's Vietnamese identity. Moreover, I myself am involved in a group called Thiên An, which means Heaven's Blessings, showcasing the Southern Vietnamese identity through traditional Vietnamese performing arts. I specialize in the line dance section of this group. As I continue to go to the night markets, festivals, and even grab some Vietnamese iced coffee from across the Asian Garden Mall, I still look up to see that the flag is still flying high in the air. I realize that Saigon hasn't fallen. It's here in Orange County, Westminster.
Dừng chân chân bé khi chiều nắng chưa phai, từ xa thấp thoáng muôn tà áo tung bay, nếp sống vui tươi nối chân nhau đến nơi đây. Sài Gòn đẹp lắm, Sài Gòn ơi, Sài Gòn ơi, xe như nước trên đường.